All right, I wanted to comment briefly on interest rates. Latest in the Financial Post, the U.S. Federal Reserve blows the door wide open for jumbo rate cuts here. So I've been saying for the last 6 or 7 months now that rates are far too high, both in Canada and the U.S. A lot of this was transitory. The inflation was driven by the pandemic. I believe we peaked at 8% inflation, but that is falling fast now. And, rates are too high. And I commented on David Rosenberg, one of the country's top economists. He was making the same statements, as well as Royce Mendez, an economist over at Desjardins. They're saying, look, rates are too high. We're going to be on the precipice of a major recession here. And the Bank of Canada's hand is going to be forced. They're going to have to cut rates probably sooner than most people anticipate. And these guys were saying this 6 or 7 months ago. Now that is starting to materialize here. We see that in the jobs numbers. So inflation, the good news now is down to its 2% target. So we have tamed the inflation. The risks now have shifted toward more of a deflation or a recession, which that's going to be the main concern here. And that's why you're seeing this shift in sentiment, both in the US and Canada. So more recently, the US, they were widely expected to cut rates by a quarter point. They went ahead and did a jumbo full half-point cut in the US, which again, according to this article, opens the door wide open, opens the floodgates. Canada now has had 3 consecutive quarter-point rate cuts. Now a lot of these economists are expecting us to, just like they did in the US, cut by a full half point as early as October. So rates are coming down quickly here. The question is not if rates are coming down, it's how far and how fast. And I know you guys, I'm going to get all the typical comments. Jay, you're trying to pump up the market and create fear of missing out, FOMO. And that's fine if you think that. But this is just, I'm just giving you guys the brass tacks. This is what these economists are saying. We're going to get more aggressive here on the interest rates. So going back to this, Royce Mendez, he is expecting the policy rate in Canada to fall from 4.25% to at least 3.25% and maybe even as low as 2.25. So if that happens, watch out. A lot of you guys have been talking about that mortgage renewal cliff as well, where a lot of these fixed rate mortgages are due for renewal in 2025 and 26. And there's going to be distress selling and foreclosures. I think that's dubious at best. It's not going to happen if rates come down to these kind of levels. I can tell you that right now. Also, big changes to the mortgage rules. You can now, as a first-time buyer, take out a 30-year amortization up from 25 years. So that is going to give first-time buyers more purchasing power for sure. But you can also, even if you're not a first-time buyer, if you're buying a brand new build, pre-sale, you would be able to access a 30-year amortization as well, which of course is going to reduce your monthly payments significantly. They've also increased the cap on insured mortgages from $1 million to $1.5 million. I think this is probably overdue because, of course, that might be fine for the rest of Canada, but in Vancouver and Toronto, you can't buy anything for $1 million anymore. So it was a move that, in my view, was probably overdue. But you're going to be able now to take out high ratio mortgages up to 1.5 and put less than 20% down. So that, again, that's another game changer. That's going to give people more more buying power here for sure. So right now, of course, the market is slow. Not only in BC, but I'm hearing it's slow in Ontario as well. We did see a bit of an uptick here in the fall, but I don't think these things will really take hold until probably looking forward into next year. 2025, spring 2025, I think is going to be pretty robust because the interest rates are going to start to take hold here, as well as these new mortgage qualification rules. That's going to have a big impact. It's a game changer. I'm Jay Coupar. Feel free to comment below or subscribe. Hit that green icon if you want an assessment on your property, and I'll see you in the next video.